bucks, and her and I kind of conjured like, hey, let's open up a tattoo shop. And through like drunken conversations with her friends, we kind of like planned it one night. I think at a sushi actually. We're sitting there like having sushi one night, and it's like, you know what? Let's do this. So we're sitting with a couple girls that did hair,
Okay.
and they're heavily tattooed, and you know they were like in this, you know, the vibe, right? And they were kind of complaining about where they were working at. So in one night we conjured up, opened up a tattoo shop that also had like this alternative, you know, feeling style salon on the other side of it. So when we first opened up our shop, it was just that. You'd walk in, we had a front desk, and then you either went over and got a haircut or you went and got the tattoo type of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I opened up the shop, I didn't have much skill. My idea was I'm gonna hire dudes that have skills, and I'm gonna learn from them, and I'm gonna take on the type of work that I can take on. So I wanted to kind of like baby step my way into being a full-time tattooer.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it worked out, with the exception of everything's going good. We've got 6-8 months in, the shop's doing all right. And then all of a sudden, the hair people decided, maybe I'm going to go back to my old salon because things were safer over there. And I'm not sure if that's what the thought was, but that's kind of how I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two tattooers that I had working for me, one asked for a ridiculous fucking raise, and I couldn't.
Right.
I'm like, I can't give you 80%, 90%. That doesn't make sense. Like,
Right.
I'm not making anything then. And then the other tattooer, I think had the sense that we were struggling because him and his brother walked up to me and they were like, 10 grand and we own half the shop. And I'm like, take a fucking hike.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got more invested. No.
Yeah.
So he quit. So all of a sudden I own a tattoo shop and it's just me in it.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. So it was kind of fucking rough. It was like maybe about 3 weeks, a month. And it's just me tattooing every day. And then there's things coming in that are well beyond, like past my skill level. And thankfully back then I was just like, you know what? That's kind of not what I do. I didn't want to say that's not my skill level. I was
Right.
I don't know what and I think you should go here. And there was about 3 or 4 shops and people that I was referring clients to
Right.
when they were asking me for stuff that I couldn't do. I ended up hiring this dude Eloy Garcia. Shout out to Eloy, and he ended up being like my inadvertent mentor. He, we'd come in every day and talk about just fundamentals of tattooing, like the basics. And in some way, my tattoo education started with him. Like my actual tattooing started sometime before that, but like the history and the respect and all that came a little bit afterwards, which kind of backwards, but either way, I still, obtained. So
that saying is like when the student is ready, the master will appear.
Yeah. And when Eloy walked in, man, it saved my career. I think it saved the shop. It saved the idea of what Flesh Electric was gonna be. I always wanted to be a high-end shop. I never wanted to be a turn and burn type of shop.
Mm-hmm.
And in my eyes, in my idea, he helped that. Like it was because he came from a super grounded tattoo situation. Like he worked with like some of the best, and in my opinion, some of the best. And then they worked with like some of like the pillars of tattooing. Like Eloy worked with Weldon, and I believe Weldon worked with this dude Dave Lum. Dave Lum worked with this other person, Rollo, and Rollo worked with Ed Hardy. So there was like this very 5 degree of separation between me and Ed Hardy or whatever, and I think that's fucking huge. Like Eloy was huge in that sense. And anyway, once I hired Eloy, to me I felt like the concrete dried. It's like, okay, I'm doing this for fucking ever.